Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to another weekend review going through all of the Premier League and the Championship matches from this weekend, and starting off at Anfield, the Saturday lunchtime game in the Premier League, Liverpool 2, Burnley 0, really comfortable win for the Reds here. Diego Jota with the opening goal in the 18th minute, Salah had a goal disallowed in the 27th minute, but Liverpool made it 2 in the 69th minute with a goal from Sadio Mane, and it's only early days, but Liverpool looking really strong so far this season. Definitely encouraging signs. As for Burnley, they were quite poor, to be honest. Man City 5 but Norwich 0 was the score in the Premier League on Saturday. A really dominant win for City. Tim Krul with an own goal in the 7th minute before goals from Grealish, a lucky goal for his first goal, it's fair to say, Laporte, Sterling and Mahrez with the goals. Torres also had a goal disallowed. But yeah, on the whole, really dominant for Man City. They've been a bit off it in the Charity Shield and the opening game, but they were back to their best here and they just need to continue it. As for Norwich, it is a bit concerning, but I'll hold judgment until they play easier teams. Leeds 2, Everton 2 was the score at Elland Road. Dominic Calvert-Lewin gave Leeds the lead in the 30th minute before Klitsch equalised in the 41st minute. Damari Gray in the 50th minute gave them the lead again, Everton, but Rafinha equalised. And in the end, I would say a draw was a fair result. It's quite back and forth, but yeah, I would say a draw is probably the fair result. Good result for Leeds, just to get off the mark now after that loss. And Everton keep them meant to go. But anyway, moving on, Crystal Palace 0, Brentford 0 was the score at Selhurst Park. Yeah, not a lot to say in this game, to be honest. You'd probably say Palace had the majority of the game, but Brentford, they defended well and managed to get a clean sheet in their first game in the Premier League, so I think they'll be pretty happy with that. But yeah, they did have the more shots and everything like that, so I think they'll be hugely encouraged by that, and that's unbeaten start for them. Villa 2, Newcastle 0 was the score at Villa Park. Danny Ings got his first Villa goal, in the 45th plus 3rd minute, deep into first half stoppage, and yeah, what a huge goal that was. An incredible goal too, and then El Ghazi from the spot in the 62nd minute doubled Villa's lead. Newcastle did have a penalty, but it was overturned due to the closest of offside. Really poor from Martinez there, definitely got away from one, but solid win for Villa to kick them off. As for Newcastle, not a great start at all really from them. Brighton 2, Watford 0 was the score at the Amex in Brighton's first home game of the season. Goals from Duffy and Maupay in the first half gave Brighton the win, and to be honest, yeah, this was a really comfortable victory. They just looked a lot better than Watford all over the pitch, and it's a perfect start for Brighton. Really impressive start, it has to be said, and if I was them, I'd start to get pretty excited over this season. As for Watford, they were poor, definitely nowhere near where they were like in the first game of the season, but I hope they can recover and find their form. Moving on to the Sunday game now, it finished Southampton 1, Man United 1 at St Mary's. A Fred own goal after a deflection gave Southampton a lead in the 30th minute before Mason Greenwood in the 55th minute after a deflection also gave Manchester United the equaliser. Manchester United pushed and pressed, but in the end it wasn't a great performance from them, I have to say, and Southampton held on to the points. They'll be very happy with that. That's a really great result for them. But Manchester United, if they realistically want to keep pace with City and Chelsea, it's the kind of game they have to be winning, in my opinion. Wolves 0, Tottenham 1 was the score at Molineux. Dele Alli with the only goal of the game in the 9th minute. And yeah, just about held on. Really solid result for them. They'll be very pleased with that. And 6 points out of 6, especially when they played at Man City, is a very good start for Tottenham. Harry Kane also came on, so obviously great to have him available. For how long though, with all of this transfer speculation, we'll see. As for Wolves, disappointing start, but they've had 2 tough games to kick off the season. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2 was the score at the Emirates. Romelu Lukaku, 15th minute, getting his Chelsea re-debut off to a great start, and then Reece James in the 35th minute giving Chelsea the other goal. Great result for Chelsea. They were absolutely dominant here. Arsenal, however, they were dreadful in the first half. But in the second half, they did improve a bit, to be fair to them. But still, you could just see the difference in quality between the two sides. Chelsea were the real deal. Ham 4, Leicester 1 was the score in the Monday night game in the Premier League. Fornals gave West Ham lead in the 26th minute before a red card for Iosi Perez totally took the game away from Leicester. For me, it was definitely a red card, and VAR actually did a really good job picking that up because the referee didn't. Benrahma got the second for West Ham in the 56th minute before a pullback from Yuri Tillemans. However, two late goals from Mikel Antonio sealed a really comfortable win, and West Ham, they're just so good to watch. They played outstanding here. Obviously, Leicester, they were kind of ruined with the red card, but on the whole, yeah, they need to improve, but West Ham were great. Moving on to the Championship now, Bristol City 0, Swansea 1 was the score on the Friday night game. Joel Piroe with the only goal of the game in the 19th minute. And yeah, this was a really solid win for Swansea. Russell Martin, I think it's fair to say he's got off to a mixed start so far as Swansea manager, so this was a big win for him. Bristol City, I would actually say, should have, maybe could have got a point out of this. Yeah, I think they'll be disappointed not to come away with anything. But once again, it's the home form under Nigel Pearson that's really, really poor, and they need to improve that desperately. The Saturday lunchtime game was a really entertaining one in the Championship. QPR 2, Barnsley 2. Fraser and Woodrow gave Barnsley a 2-0 lead heading into half-time before Elias Chair and Charlie Austin scored goals for QPR in the second half to keep alive their unbeaten start. Barnsley, when you're leading with 14 minutes to go by 2-0, you really want to hold that out, so I think they'll be very, very disappointed with that. As for QPR, I think they probably would have wanted to win this going into it, but from where they were, it's a good point. Blackburn 1, West Brom 2 was the score at Ewood Park. The only goals in the first half came from West Brom. Alex Malwat in the first minute with an exquisite goal, and Phillips in the 45th plus the third minute with the other one. Before Chile hero Ben Brereton Diaz, or Ben Brereton, obviously I'm a Ben Brereton Diaz guy, gave Blackburn the goal in the 51st minute. But to be honest, it should have been more. West Brom just looks so good here. Yeah, they're just incredible. Before moving on, Bournemouth 2, Blackpool 2 was the score at the Vitality. 2 goals from Dominic Solanke in the first 20 minutes gave them a 2-0 lead before in the second half Husband and Yates equalised for Blackpool. 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes, and Bournemouth were absolutely cruising out half time. They should have been out of sight. Yeah, if they want to keep up with the leaders, Fulham and West Brom, with how good they're looking at the moment, this is the sort of game that they have to be winning. Really, really poor from them, but great point for Blackpool. Cardiff 3, Millwall 1 was the score at the Cardiff City Stadium. 2 goals from Aidan Flynn, the Championship's top scorer now, absolutely incredibly, in the 66th and 70th minute, gave them the lead, before Benny Kofobe in the 76th minute pulled one back, and Sean Morrison sealed the game in the 83rd minute. And yeah, Cardiff centre-halves are doing the job for them, both at the back and going forward at the moment. They've had a really solid start to the season. As for Millwall, I have to say I kind of expected a bit more, but I'm sure it'll come in time. Coventry 2, Reading 1 was the score at the Ricoh Arena. John Swift gave Reading the lead 5 minutes before half-time, before in the second half, Allen and a 97th minute winner from Gooden gave Coventry the win, and to be honest, they were fully deserved it. They were all over Reading for most of it, and the only concern is they should have had it sailing up long before. Reading were poor here. Obviously, we know how much they're struggling at the moment, but yeah, they just need new players in. Derby 0, Middlesbrough 0 was the score at Pride Park. Speaking of teams that need new players in, Derby, but they're actually doing really well at the moment. Another pretty solid performance. For a 0-0, it was an entertaining game, but considering where they are, 0-0, very solid performance. It's just the squad depth that worries me. They need new players. Neil Warnock, I think he'll be disappointed not to get anything out of this. But yeah, still early days in the season. The performance wasn't awful, but I do think they'll see this as a missed opportunity. Fulham 2, Hull 0 was the score at Craven Cottage. Goals from Mitrovic and that kid again, Carvalho. What a player he looks. Gave Fulham the comfortable win, and to be honest, it could have and possibly should have been more. Fulham, an absolutely incredible side at this level, and they're just looking unstoppable. As for Hull, obviously it's been very disappointing ever since that opening game, but yeah, they weren't terrible here. Fulham are just a level above most teams in the Championship. I don't think anyone saw this result coming. Luton 0, Birmingham 5 was the score at Kenilworth Road. Yes, you heard that right. Goals from Roberts, Hogan with a brace, Gardner and Aniki gave Birmingham the win, and they were just outstanding here. I was beginning to wonder after that loss if their form was going to come down, but it certainly hasn't. It's only picked up. They were just brilliant, and Lee Bowyer has really got that side clicking. As for Luton, this was really disappointing, but hopefully it's just a one bad game. But if so, this was really concerning. Preston won, Peterborough 0 was the score at Deepdale. The only goal of the game coming from Patrick Barrow in the 14th minute. It was quite an even game. Peterborough, they had one great chance. Except for that, they just didn't do much here. But yeah, in all, for Preston, it's an absolutely huge win under Frankie McAvoy. With how much they've been struggling this season, just relieved some of the pressure. As for Peterborough, it's disappointing, as I think they could have seen this as an opportunity to get something from the game. But yeah, in the end, it just wasn't to be. Sheffield United 1, Huddersfield 2 was the score in a very weird game, I have to say, at Bramall Lane. For me, this was just a really, really one-sided game. Sheffield United dominated the play, but just couldn't get anything in goal before Koroma equalised in the 75th minute. Sheffield United finally got what they deserved in the 91st minute, Billy Sharp scoring. However, Huddersfield went straight down the other end and scored. Just absolutely incredible. After the week Huddersfield have had, great room for them, but Sheffield United, man, they need to sort it out. But finally, Stoke won, Nottingham Forest 0 was the score at the Bet365 Stadium. The only goal of the game coming in the 66th minute through time on. And yeah, that continues. Stoke, really good start to the season. They were on top here. Forest, though, they were dreadful. I rate Chris Hughton so highly as a manager, but he has to sort it out soon. Otherwise, I can see him coming under real threat for his job. Because as we know, the owners of Forest, they don't hang around. And yeah, they look awful at the moment. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Leave your thoughts, comments down below. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily football news. And subscribe to my channel, screen around now. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.